Hello, everyone, and welcome to our next discussion of one of our films here from the Footcandle Film Festival. My name is Alan Jackson, for anybody I have not had a chance to meet yet, one of the co-directors of the Film Festival and the Film Society. With me over here on the other side of the room is Chris Fry, the other co-director, co-founder of the Film Festival and the Film Society as well. So we are happy to have you here with us, and we are going to be discussing the film TOPRAK, which we just recently showed, which was part of our festival this year, is one of the 5 narrative feature films we have available at this year's online festival. And we're very happy to have with us one of the producers and the cinematographer of the film, Chris Hirschhauscher. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
Great. Chris is joining us from Germany, so we're happy to see that we've got a good connection and we can be talking with you here. And we're so happy to have you joining us to talk about this film. And we've gotten some great feedback from the audience already about the film, the ones who've gotten to see it. I think it's played really well, and people do have some questions they'll be sending us here in just a moment that we'll give to you. But before we do, I wanted to kind of go ahead and ask you a little bit to talk to us just about the film itself. You did the film with your wife. Your wife was the director, and there's a little bit of a history in the location and kind of the meaning behind the film. I'd love for you to talk to us just a little bit about the film and how the film project got started and what was kind of her and your inspiration for doing it.
Sure thing. How long have your time, guys?
Sure.
It's like, when can I start? My wife and me, we wanted to make a movie, of course, and she started with a short movie, but it didn't work out so well. So we waited a little bit, and we had other people making movies. And we wanted to make the movie in Turkey because she's coming from Turkey, and we are living in Germany, in Munich. But of course, she has a strong bond to Antalya because she lived the first 20 years over there, and it's in southern Turkey. And yeah, for us, we didn't have any financing, so we made our movie on our own funds. So it was clear that we need to make a movie where we can go on the resources we had, and this was a hometown of Sergei's mother, and it's 30 kilometers away, a little bit inside of the country of Antalya, which is coast. And yeah, it's kind of a historic place, and we were able to she made a very nice script. She was writing. She's a writer too, a screenwriter. And in 2 or 3 months, we were managing to get our stuff there and get us location scouting, and we started filming. And for like 18 days or something, like 2.5 weeks, we made the feature. And we had a very small team. Just me, a friend of mine from Germany came over, some people from Turkey, from Antalya, we are paid. And she found a very nice actor, Numan Shakir, who's an Istanbul-based actor. She convinced him to make it for minimum wage to work for us, and he was perfect in this role of Jamil. And yeah, the little boy is her cousin from Sethi,
wow. Okay.
a family member, and he wants to be an actor. He was 17 back then, and yeah, he made a good thing, I guess, because Numan was able to lead him a little bit in the scenes and to work with him. Sethi was working with both of them. Yeah, it was a good experience, I think. And her mother helped. The father was driving sometimes. Friends from school helped her. Some family members, they were building the stuff over there. They were getting us contact so we can shoot, because Turkey is sometimes a little bit difficult to shoot it. And yeah, a lot of things happened. What happens there, like we had police on the set who took us with us and so on. It was very funny scenes, and we had all kind of strange things happening, but it's fun. It was very, very nice.
So I want to go back to with your wife, the connection. Obviously, it was shot in Turkey, but you said it was shot in the hometown of her mother's family, and where her mother is it where her mother currently lives, or was it just where the mother grew up?
Where she grew up, and a lot of family members are still there. I mean, it's half an hour away. It's not really like 500 miles inside of the country. It's more like, okay, we go for a Sunday break or somewhere there. But still, it looks like that.
Okay.
Of course, some other directions were a little bit more like plant houses and so on, where they make tomatoes and all that stuff. but she lives in Antalya. It's 1.5 million inhabitant city with a lot of tourism. Like Germany's coming there for making holiday over there. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
And yeah, but Serik itself, this is a little town there, where the family from mother's side still lives. And we shooting like 2 miles from the grandmother's place. We were shooting inside of the trees. One scene, the kidney operation scene, it takes place in the building of the father or of the uncle. It was half built back then, and yeah. Well, and this little house, it's very special because I was looking for this kind of free home around the scenery, and they told us, "Oh, this guy is a little bit awkward. And don't ask him. He's aggressive or something." And I was like, "Okay, then let's look for another home. We have to convince the people we can shoot there." And we didn't find anything. And then we went to this guy. I said, "Hey, let's go and ask him." And he was such a cute guy, and he let us shoot there for free. He was happy, made us tea, and even the actor came back later and slept over there, and everything was pretty nice over there. And the interesting thing is in the background, you can see maybe the plateau. There's a plateau. This is in very historic place. It's like a 2,000-year-old Greek site. The Greek came there like 2,000 years ago and had some kind of villages over there. And it's back then in ruins. And it's very historic and very old there. And it's a landscape, but the people don't care about it so much anymore. And so they just farm around, and
that's great.
So, and the funny thing is, we had a permission to shoot this home, but we didn't have a permission to shoot the land side. But it was in front of this, so it was good luck for us. It was inside of the frame all the time, but yeah, normally we shouldn't shoot there because we need a special permission for that.
That's great. Now, the film, really talks in this theme, which I thought was really great, the way it was presented in the film. You have this real kind of battle between this idea of traditions, family traditions and cultural traditions, and then these younger generation and what they want to do with their life. And I thought that was a really interesting thing to explore in the film. Do you happen to know, with your wife as the director and writer, kind of having the idea for the film, what kind of brought her to want to make a film about that kind of subject, about this idea of tradition versus the generations?
This kind of clash between the family and the generation, it's really present in our Western culture, it's present too, but in the Turkey and the Islamic culture, it's a Muslim country, it is very, very strict. I mean, you have the older guys and the younger guys are obeying, and there's not so much kind of saying no. They do what they've been told. Like in marriage time, sometimes they even have a family that is arranged or something. It's like in the scene with the girl. This is all topics that are happening there and still there. It's the present time, and especially outside the cities. The cities are a little bit more modern, of course, but outside this thing is happening. And even this kidney stuff, she read about this. I was like, okay, sounds more like China. It's happening there too, and it's illegal, but it can happen there. So in Germany, I don't think it happens that you have something like that, but there it's kind of not really common, but it's happening.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it was a great topic and a great theme for the film, so I was really kind of excited to see it played out the way it was. Chris, do we have anything online there?
Yeah, so somebody was just mentioning they want you to know they thought the film was beautiful, so many things about it. They thought it was informative, inspiring, motivating, and passionate. They want to thank you for the memorable film. I know you and I talked just a little bit before the conversation here live had started, and I was complimenting you on the cinematography of the film. So he's responsible for a lot of the beautiful imagery, obviously, that you were complimenting him on. Was there a certain scene that stands out to you of something that maybe it was really hard to shoot, or just something you really think captured the landscape really well, like a scene from the film that stands out to you that you're proud of as the cinematographer?
I think there are a lot of, thank you for the compliment. I'm very always happy to hear that. Someone likes the pictures, of course. Yeah, there were a lot of scenes I'm kind of very satisfied with. I think for me, the iconic scene is the scene with the tree where the two young people are sitting under the tree, And we watched another location, but I was immediately sure I want to have this location because it's iconic. I love this kind of very symmetrical things. And the funny thing is, the right side is a road, behind is a road. There are some kind of plantage stuff. Mm-hmm. So this is the only direction. It was very beautiful. The others are like, what the hell? What's going on here? And yeah, this works out very well. We shot with 2 cameras. I had my Blackmagic Ursa Minis with me. Back then I had this Ursa Minis, and they were working very well for me. And we shot normally with 2 cameras same time. One remotely, like a wide angle for the total and a close-up. Mm-hmm. So this was our setup. Yeah.
Okay. There's an additional question. A person was wondering, the color of the film had a beautiful mauve pink tone to it, and they just want to know, how did you achieve that? Was that something that you achieved on site with the camera with the lighting, or was that editing or color grading? How did you achieve that?
I think it's a kind of magenta tone. The cameras do have this a little bit, and my grader, the Marco Zaoni, I want to mention him here, very thankful for his help, because he brought the 2 cameras together and everything, and he brought a lot of out of material. It was kind of a thing we did in the post to achieve a different tone. Like in the nighttime, it's more like this kind of tone we wanted to have. And yeah, that was kind of in a grading process. It happened.
Okay. That's great. You said the entire shoot was just under 20 days, correct? So you guys shot this fairly quickly for a hour, 45-minute movie.
I think so too, and especially when we think about that we didn't plan so much before, and everything happened very quickly. Like we had 2 weeks of preparation before and making everything up, but everything happened very spontaneously. And because we're a very, very small team, we didn't have this big ship behind us. You have to move around, what I know from other movies, and we just were a little boat going somewhere. So it was everything very spontaneous when we had a location here, and we mainly shot in the after hours, not after hours, but afternoon time, so at 2 or 3 o'clock when the light was a little bit nicer. And yeah, that's why we had 20 days, I think even 18, 19 days was it.
Yeah. We were talking a little bit before this live interview started too, just about where the film has been shown, and you were commenting that it hasn't had a chance or an opportunity to be shown in Turkey or I guess in Germany, where you guys are right now. Is that true?
Yes, we hope for Hof. Hof is a German festival. It's a top 3 festival in Germany, and I'm very fond of it because it's only 2 hours away from Munich, and very familiar, like your festival too, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I'm really happy we have our Germany premiere there finally. Okay. Antalya premiere, where the movie was shot. Well, it's another topic. We wanted to be there. We were thinking it's being there, premiered there, and they didn't take her for some reason I not completely understand. Right. It's Turkey.
Yeah, I'm sure. Understood. Well, challenging there.
But we hope next year another festival we'll have it.
Yeah, good. So have you and Sevgi worked together before, or is this your first project working on as a film together, as a partnership there?
We made some fashion videos together. She likes to make little fashion videos. One music video we made together, and we're working very close in other projects together because we're not only making nice art house movies. We just have to make some money with making image films and some other stuff, commercial here and there, and we're working very close together. She's editing a lot of my stuff and doing the sound, and yeah, that's how she came to movie too. And we met on the movie set, by the way, too. That's all funny, too. We met in Antalya like 10 years ago, and on a movie set where I was taking pictures, still pictures back then. Mm-hmm. And she was a stunt girl there and doing karate and doing the stunt for the actresses. And yeah, we came close, and yeah, ending up marriage somehow.
Wow. Well, that is great. That is great. Chris, I think we have a question from the audience.
Yes. So someone wanted to know where the idea of the indecisive buyer at the pomegranate stand, how did that originate? The guy who kind of is haggling back and forth. They wanted to know like where that idea came from.
Well, should be now Sevgi here to answer this question. I can tell you about the scene. Some people were asking because I think that you wanted to do you wanted to lighten up the dark tone of the movie itself, and it's a scene where it's kind of a little bit funny. It's more like someone who is very insecure about because the buyer who is coming there, he's a very insecure guy. He doesn't know what to do. I think there's a symbol in the side of it, a metaphor maybe. I should ask her. Who am I to understand this? I'm just a cinematographer. But it was a scene I like very much because it lightens up the dark tone of the whole movie. And I'm very happy she made it inside of that. Yeah, I don't know why she made this.
That's good. That's all right. Well, I think too, some comments I read before we got in the conversation. I think people, obviously, like you said, it's a darker film in tone. I mean, it's a lot about people feeling restricted, not feeling like they're able to move forward or they're able to resolve things. But I think a lot of people found it to be somewhat hopeful when you got to the end, at least for a brief moment where you felt like at least even despite the tragedy, the good that came out of it was that we now have our lead character is able to move on with his life to some degree and follow the things without having the burden of the tradition hanging over him. So again, I'm totally, that's my interpretation. I hope that might have been the interpretation of you guys.
I think so too. For me, when I watch a movie, it's like, it is a dark tone. It is a drama. It is about this struggle with heritage, with tradition, with religion and everything coming together. And but still there's hope inside of it, even of death and some hopelessness. And there's some kind of hope. The little boy is there and he finds a way to move on and leave all the things behind him that were always putting him behind. And I think it was a very nice ending. Yeah. I hope I don't talk too much about this now because Seth, normally don't want to talk about anything about the spoiler stuff. But
well, our hopes are that anybody who's listening to the conversation has watched the film. If they haven't watched the film yet, the conversation may not mean as much to you. So I'd recommend going to see the film first and then coming back and watch the recorded conversation here. So, Chris, your background is primarily cinematographer, or have you directed any of your own projects before? Maybe tell us a little bit about your background as a filmmaker.
Well, I'm originally coming from the photography. I made a trainee in Germany for 3 years, and I was working long time portrait work, etc., commercial. And always were fond of movie, of course. And I came back to movie with a still photography that was unfulfilling for me after some time. And then I started making my own movies as a cinematographer. And one movie I directed myself. It was nice too. A road movie we made in Italy. But I prefer being a cinematographer because I like more about the picture, like helping directors doing the project, a nice project. And I really like having a role inside of to advise the director too about some stuff. But I feel more like a picture guy who makes a picture, the framing.
Well, I think it made for a great partnership because, again, as we mentioned earlier, the images in the film are really, really stunning and well done.
Thank you.
So that's great.
It would be hopeless when the story wouldn't be nice. This is always the story comes first for me. If the script is not worth it, I would say let's call it a day. But it was a great script, and she made a very good job in editing and directing, firstly. And for me, it was very nice to see these locations and people there, the faces, and the texture of everything. It's really nice. And I hope we make our next movie there too in Turkey because it's really nice working there. Yeah. And and the food is very nice too, by the way.
Good. The actor that played the uncle, the lead actor in the film, I believe, Numan Kaker?
Numan Shakir.
Shakir. Okay.
It's difficult.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So was he an actual known actor? Was he someone that was an actor by trade, or was he someone that maybe had a connection with your wife or anybody in the family? How did you guys get connected with him for this role?
He's a known actor. I wouldn't say a well-known actor, maybe now more because he got at least 2 prizes for the movie and deserved prizes. And he was known from television stuff, not like a cinema guy, more like television. There's always a kind of difference. He's a in his former life, he's a goalkeeper at soccer.
Wow.
So that was for me like, oh yeah, very nice. I mean, he's not the youngest guy anymore, so I think I don't know how long he was playing this or how long he was doing this, but he's in acting now. He's a very nice actor, I must admit. I like to see his face working, and that's why I make a lot of close-ups of him. And yeah, but he's working right now on set again, and we got him from friends, I guess, of Sevgi. She was asking around, and then we found him, and he was like, okay, I will do this, because we couldn't catch him with money, we couldn't catch him with a lot of fame, because Sevgi didn't make any movie before, and so we had to have a nice script, I guess. And he was convinced, and he came with his car to our place, and he slept in our place too some days. And he was very helpful, of course, and also promote the movie now, because in Istanbul he's well known there, and people are getting attention from this movie now. And I think he's very proud of it too.
That's good. Well, he played a great part. So both he and the younger boy who you said was actually the cousin of your wife, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
perfect. So both of them played off each other extremely well. I think it was a good partnership on film.
I like to hear that. they really appreciate to hear this from American voices, because the United States is always some kind of really big thing for them to hear and to know this, that they're getting attention there. Yeah, so I will give them.
That's great. That's great. Chris, did you have anything else from?
Yes. Somebody commented, they said that they were sad that the uncle had to die, but they felt that but he said they saw that he was absolutely a roadblock to the young man's future, and they were glad for the happy ending that Alan kind of alluded to, how there's some hope at the end. They were wondering, were there other endings considered? Do you know if Sevgi, or was this always kind of locked down that this was how it was going to play out?
That's an interesting question. I think it was always the thing that the uncle had to die. I mean, it's a drama, and it's a consequence. It would be strange not to let him die, because it's obviously, I guess, and there should be some consequence. But we had a different. The movie originally was 125 minutes, so it was longer than now. And actually, I had to convince Sevgi to cut it out 20 minutes. Actually, I don't know where she cut it, because then it was 105 minutes, and I was like, okay, it's a little bit smoother. Also for the festivals, it's nicer, and not to bore the people, because we shot very long scenes, and we had more like in the mosque, more scenes in the Jami, where they were praying and so on. And we had some scenes with her grandfather playing some kind of a future Burak, the little boy. And there's some scene where he's giving this pomegranate to him, and they're separating. So this was some kind of a different ending, but now we cut it out because of time reason and for maybe understanding too. It was a little bit too cliche maybe, or too I don't know. We have a lot of dream sequence, 2 or 3 dream sequence inside of the movie, and I think we shouldn't overdo it. And so the scene had to be cut out. Yeah, but we had a little bit different ending. It's the same, but a little bit going somewhere different.
Sure.
More like a dream.
I think we have time for maybe one more comment or so, Chris, if there's one we can share.
I'm here.
Oh, sure, great.
Okay. Gentleman saying, as an old man himself, he felt the fear of the uncle being alone, and at the same time, the frustration of the young boy searching for a tomorrow that he wanted to live for, and he loved the film. So there's some feedback for you that you can share with Sevgi.
Thank you very much. We really like that people understand this topic of the movie, because I mean it's a Turkish movie. It's Turkish social talk, Turkish culture. It's Muslim. I'm really happy when American people appreciating this and understand the movie too, and going inside of this. Yeah, we really love this kind of comments. And if anyone has a comment, just add us on Facebook and write us something. We would like to write that too. So we will be found on Facebook or Instagram with this for kids. Come on, Facebook.
Yeah. Is that a good way for people to try to contact you? Is through Facebook?
Of course. We're very happy to answer all comments and questions. We love this.
That'd be great.
Kind of a communication with people who watched our movie and enjoyed it, or didn't enjoy it. They can leave some comments too, of course.
So, Chris, is there anything you and Sevgi, either one of you, are working on right now or looking to be working on before too long that you'd like to tell us about, or anything that sounds like an interesting project or something you're hoping to do?
Well, actually, said we made 2 music videos. We were made together this music videos. He was directing, I was the DP again, and they're out now for a band we know, and we are planning to do another feature movie,
Okay.
and let's see how much money we can raise for this. Maybe we have to do it on our own funds again, so it's a little bit smaller again, or a little bit bigger. We don't know yet. We're trying to get some money for that. And it will take place in Turkey again, I guess, because it's a very nice place to shoot. It feels like home there. And yeah, I think the topics in Turkey, for me, it's much more interesting than in Germany. I don't know. I'm here. It's a little bit boring maybe sometimes. And I have the feeling that in Turkey, the topics are more stronger and more deeper because it's about death and life, about this heritage, this kind of traditions they have is really strange sometimes, and it's really strong, and not like in Western places where, some other problems that we have, but compared to them, it's really like luxury problems we have.
Yeah, sure. Well, I tell you, we're running out of time here. We got another film screening starting up in a little bit for people who want to see that. I do want to say, though, Chris, thank you so much for joining us remotely here. We really appreciate the time, and we really appreciate the film. We were so fortunate to be able to screen it and have it selected. We had over 320 submissions, and we're really happy to have the 30 films that were selected as ones that we showed this weekend. So
we want to thank you too, guys, that we had the opportunity to show the movie there in your place and your nice festivals, and we are very happy people watching our movie and liking it, and we are very grateful for that, because we didn't expect anything of this small independent movie. And so we are happy to have everywhere in the whole world, and North Carolina everywhere. It's like a dream for her, because she's still don't believe anything of that. So thank you, guys.
Well,
please
pass on our well wishes to Sevgi as well. And we hope to be hearing from you guys soon in the future. Please keep us posted on future projects you're working on and other films you have completed, or music videos. Yeah, it'd be great.
Thank you much. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you all very much. And thank you to all of our watchers today. Again, this will be a recorded conversation. So if you missed part of it, it'll be available on the Film Festival website through the rest of the weekend. And then we are taking all these conversations and we're recording them, and we're going to put them up on a special Footcandle YouTube channel so that everybody can enjoy these conversations